Hey folks, welcome back to Gaming Garbage, where we take a look at games, chat about the gaming news in the industry, and of course, stream for fun. Today we're taking a look at Sony PlayStation's State of Gaming for September. Now, I kind of expected one, but this is our third one this year from Sony, and we've honestly had a lot of them too also from Xbox. We did have the Tokyo Game Show, and we'll talk about that one as well. But yeah, it's just getting really saturated with how full these are getting. And it's just kind of blowing my mind a little bit. But hey, we're gonna cover most of these, and let me just check my audio here, make sure I sound good. Audio sounds great. Good. Thank you, Twitch and Xbox. It's working good today. Okay, so let's get into it. We'll talk about what they showcased, and then I'll have my rating at the end and my overall thoughts of the showcase. So, first we got to see Astrobot DLC. That'll be free, coming out December 24th. So if you really enjoyed Astrobot, you'll be getting more content at the end of the year, again, for free. That's great. We also got Midnight Walk. This is from the creators of Lost in Random. Pretty good indie game, by the way. And so I imagine this one will be pretty good too. But this one is more built not necessarily as a kind of like a cozy game with some horror elements. This is more built for VR, and you can see that while they're developing it. But everything was actually made with clay in the game, so they have clay animation, which is actually pretty cool. It looks pretty good, but there's no release date on this one. Hell is Us. No release date, but this is a story-driven kind of linear game levels. There's some puzzles to figure out, and yeah, Dark Souls combat or Sekiro combat. There's also some technology in there. Then you also have a drone following you around that probably gives you certain benefits or perks or abilities. You probably get to level up your character too. I didn't see that the attire changed much, and maybe there's a little bit of differences in weapons or maybe certain types of playstyles or combat, but again, it doesn't seem super heavy on that. This will be like another kind of smaller game, but yeah, Hell is Us, that'll probably be coming into 25 or even 26. Arcade Chronicles. This is like a medieval Dark Souls-ish God of War type of style of game level and combat. This is coming out in 2025. Also got an announcement that POW World is coming out for PlayStation, so congratulations, you guys are going to be getting it, and this is actually out now, so you can play this right now if you wish. I do have to mention that the Nintendo lawsuit against Pocket Pair, and Pocket Pair has a deal in partnership with Xbox and Sony, and Sony too has also formed with Pocket Pair PAL World Entertainment, and so I'm not really sure how that's going to affect that either. But yeah, depending on how this lawsuit goes and what's dictated by the judge, this can really mess up these partnerships that Pocket Pair has with Sony and Xbox. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We also had Lunar Remaster Collection. This is coming spring of 2025. And again, it's just like you would expect, kind of like this 2D side-scroller, 2.5D top-down camera angle kind of a thing, like the older games. But yeah, they're remastered. They're basically repixelated for you. And yeah, they actually look pretty good. I mean, they're going to be telling the same stories. We also got Sonic X Shadow Generations. We're going to be getting a free DLC that'll be coming up on December 12th. And this is the movie pack DLC that stars Keanu Reeves. The problem, though, is that it's not free. So, Sony misrepresented this one because it's only available in the deluxe edition of the game. And so the base game is $50, and then for an additional, I think it's $10 for the deluxe, you can get the free DLC. So it's not free. Seriously, that's just really bad optics right there. They're just like someone's not paying attention. Next, we got to see Veilguard. This was an extended combat look, which really didn't look that great. Some people that have played Veilguard, like Mr. Matty Plays, actually has some pretty good hype for the game. And he reviews games for his channel, and he really likes what Veilguard is, and the extended play that he got was, I think, was roughly about 6 to 10 hours, somewhere in there. He actually said what they've been showing really doesn't show the game that well. So we'll have to wait for real reviews to actually see what people think. Generally speaking, we'll all be able to see some gameplay on Twitch and stuff. Again, Veilguard is October 31st, so basically a month away. Next, we got to see Alan Wake 2, the Lake House expansion. This again will be coming out in October, and I think this is $20. I think it's $20. I didn't write the price point down, so I don't remember. Next, we got to see Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remaster. This is going to be done by Aspyr, and Crystal Dynamics, I think, was the other one. And this will be coming out December 10th. You're getting both games, both complete games, and these aren't remakes, okay? They're not completely redoing the level design. They're not redoing all of the character models. It's just retexturing and making it, better resolutions for the graphics and textures and resolution. So it's like there's not massive improvement there, but we can probably also expect that this isn't going to be overly expensive either. This is probably going to be, compared to the other Aspyr games that they've put out this year, this will be number 7 and 8 that they've remastered, which is insane. So far, they're basically putting out one game a month. Or one game every 1.5 months, which is just wild, because they put out Tomb Raider Remaster Collection 1, 2, and 3, which is wonderful, by the way. I'm playing through that and having such a blast sharing it with y'all. They also did Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, the original remasters, which, again, those were not good. They didn't come out very well. And then we also had Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which is okay. I mean, it's definitely the game, but people were expecting it to be a remake, not a remaster. And again, we need to reiterate this, that, remake means things are redone, like Silent Hill 2 remake. That's probably going to look really good this year. But if it's a remaster, there's probably not too much work going into it. It's just upgrading the textures and graphics and resolution in the game. But everything else is going to stay the same. So even though it's, it was made 20 years ago, let's say, it still doesn't necessarily look great. Now, I still want to try Beyond Good and Evil 1. There's a 20th anniversary edition, and this actually looks, to a degree, remade, which is nice. Like, some of the models are redone, there's some improvements in the level design compared to the old one, but again, it doesn't maybe feel like an entire full remake, but we'll have to see. I do own that one. I will show it to you guys when I can get there. So, but yeah, this is crazy. Like, Aspyr is cranking out games, and Embracer Group is just making them, trying to make as much money as possible. So yeah, I feel for Aspyr, because they're not having any break on making these games. Next, we got to see Towers of Agashba. I hope I'm saying that right. Question mark. This will be early access in November, so this means it'll likely be multiplayer. There'll be an online component. Maybe it'll all be online. And then this too can also be live service. So we didn't necessarily see that in the game. It might be more like an MMO. They did mention during the trailer that you can visit other people's islands or like other people's towers. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly how that all works out with gameplay and multiplayer and all that. But yeah, we don't have a great idea yet. But yeah, November will be early access. And it did look open worldish. You get to explore the land, and you also get to explore under the ocean, which is cool. So that opens a whole nother dynamic. I love it when games actually do that, because exploring on just land sometimes is a little more boring than we think it should be. But adding a whole nother underwater component to that for diving and stuff is actually pretty sweet. Next, we got to see Lego Fortnite is getting a split screen mode. Now, for those of you that remember, this was actually supposed to be temporary. This was supposed to be more of an event. Well, it's been so popular, they've kept it. And now they're adding a split screen mode, which I think is great. It's allowing people that want to do couch co-op to be able to do that. And I'd love for that to be able to come back again. We also got to see a PS5 limited controller, and it's pretty flippin' snazzy. But if I can actually find the shells myself, the entire shell kits, I'll actually do it for you for cheaper than what the cost of that controller is going to be. We also didn't get to see what the cost is going to be. Probably going to be an $80 or $100 controller, my guess. Usually the limited edition ones are around that price, and we'll have to see. I did find out too today the DualSense 30th anniversary controller, not the Edge, just the regular, is going to be $80 if you can find one. I was at GameStop and was talking with the store manager over there. Gotten to know him fairly well, and he was telling me that they only send 2 controllers per store. So I don't think Target or Walmart or Best Buy, I don't think they're going to be getting many either. So the scalpers are already out in force. They're grabbing them as fast as they can, so good luck. But again, if I can find the actual shell kits, I will do it for you. Because I don't think people need to buy an entirely new controller unless they want to just have the 30th anniversary. I'll also do that too if I can find the plates for the 30th anniversary for the Slim, and even just send them to you because you can just put them on yourself. I don't have to do it for you. Pretty simple. Let's see, next we got to see Dynasty Warrior Origins. This is January 17th, 2025. We finally have a release date, which is nice. And this game looks great. Okay, if you're looking for a large battle hack and slash, maybe like 99 Nights or Prey even, dude, I'm excited. Well, no, I think Prey was a different game. But yeah, 99 Nights specifically was a really good game. Or like Legend of Zelda Warriors of Hyrule, I think it was called. It very much looks just like that. Big open battles, lots of combat, flailing bodies, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, this is about the origin of Dynasty Warriors. So yeah, January 17th. Next, we got to see Monster Hunter Wilds. We got to see an actual new trailer, but they need to stop showing us stuff of this game because I feel like maybe they're giving a little bit too much away. And this will be February 28th. 2025. Next, we got to see Lego Horizon Adventures, November 17th. This trailer, they used cameos to try to sell stuff. Like they showed Little Big Planet and some others as well. And it's like, why can't you guys actually make some of these games instead of camoing it the thing, right? Like that's how I feel too about Astrobot. I'm sure it's a fun game. I'm sure it's a great platformer. It looks fun. It honestly does. But it's like we have 170 whatever characters that are cameoed in Astrobot, and it's like why not just give us the IPs with new games? That's really what people want, and I think that's why Astrobot did so well. Remove the cameos. I don't think Astrobot would be as popular as it is today, or even have the review score. Next, we got to see Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster. Yay, because we were all, asking for that. This will be October 31st. They remastered 10 hours of voice lines. They're also going to remaster the resolution and textures and stuff. And anyone owning the original can upgrade just for $10. So that's actually kind of nice. Usually they just want you to buy it again, like The Last of Us Part 2, Mother Hubbard's. Literally, that game had been out for 3.5 years, and you're like, hey, let's remaster it. Nope. Here's the finger. That's garbage. So yeah, Zero Dawn came out in 2017. So it's been about 7 years. But I was curious, too. I was thinking about this. It's like, okay, if we're getting remasters for games, but they're also showing the games that are going to look better on the Pro, what are they actually selling? Like, are they just giving the remasters for those that can't buy the Pro because they know there's only going to be so many models, or that people can't they can't afford $700 or $1,000 or whatever the price is going to end up being? It just kind of got me curious, and so it's like, but is this also going to undersell the Pro? Because if you can just get the remasters of the games that you'd like, that's a heck of a lot cheaper than just buying a $700 plus console, right? So I kind of feel like they're digging into their own divisions or their own products that they're trying to sell, and they're kind of working against each other personally. But maybe that's what they're doing, is really the refresh is now going to be a premium item just for those that can afford it, and so they're not really expecting to sell a lot of units, but they're still expecting to make a lot of revenue maybe off of the refresh. And then for the other side, for us poor folks, we can just get the remasters of some of these games. But then it's like, do I really want to play Horizon Zero Dawn again? Probably not. Probably not. Like most of us have probably had our time. We usually play a game once. And if it's been, 10 or 20 years, yeah, it'd be cool to get a remaster for some of us that really like it. Like Dead Space Remake was wonderful. Silent Hill 2 is another good one. But it's kind of insane to me that they're remastering something that, again, we didn't ask for. There's also rumors right now that we're also going to get a Days Gone remaster, and they kind of didn't treat that IP very well. Instead, we'd like a Days Gone 2, maybe, with upgrades to the engine, better mechanics in the game, maybe more story, deeper content. But yeah, getting a Days Gone remaster, we'll have to wait and see for complete confirmation. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing, which is just kind of crazy. Again, it's not a game we're asking for. Next is the Chroma shells for the controller and the PS5. Not the Slim or the Pro. These are just base PS5 models. And yeah, the Chroma looks cool for what it is. Again, if some of you are interested, I'll see if I can actually find the shells and either get them to you or send you the link or do it for you if you'd like. And then, too, they took time. We had Sony come out again and try to resell the Pro. They announced patches for Veilguard, Delta Snake Eater, Assassin's Creed Shadows, that haven't been released yet. They did show some other games that have also been released, of course, and they've added a few more titles to the games that will have patches so that they can benefit from the Pro directly. But, this just is a hard sell for me because I don't care about graphics that much. Good gall, if we go to 8K, I'm going to lose my mind because, nobody even has an 8K TV unless you want to spend $2,000. So, they really need to sell us on something else. And the same with the remasters, regardless if it's Nintendo, Xbox, or Sony. We need to actually get real games and content again instead of just focusing on just rehashing the same stuff. It's the same problem that I have with movies and TV series today, is they're just like, hey, we're giving it to you again. It's like eventually you're going to run out, right? And when these remakes and remasters, when they run out of ideas and they use them all up, then what? And that, I think, is the potential for the real gaming crash. And, yeah, I mean, what are these AAAs going to do? Because it's possible that they could be so big now that they're unable to sustain themselves on just simple storytelling games. And that's kind of a crazy thought to me. But again, it's like, if you're making these big, massive titles like Spider-Man 2 for over $300 million, and then when you factor in all of the marketing and everything, you're looking at $350 million, and you finally just broke even last month, that is kind of flippin' insane. Yeah. That's crazy. And again, Miles Morales was a lot more profitable, but it also overall made less money than Spider-Man 2 did, because again, it was a smaller price point. But the volume, you got to make it up for volume if it costs less, right? If you're going to make less money per product. So it's push out all of these remasters, like Aspire right now. Holy frick, 8 games this year so far. It's unbelievable. I hope they can get a break for Christmas. Then we got others that are taking, 13 years to make Skull and Bones and 8 years to get Concord out the door, and it's just these games suck. And so what are gaming companies going to do? They're going to have to get efficient, and that's unfortunately what they're doing. That's why these layoffs are happening. And I still don't think we're done with layoffs either. But I think it's important to address this with Sony because they're really showing it's hey, we're selling you better graphics, we're selling you remastered stuff, and it's can you even make money off of just actual games again instead of services? I don't know. I think it's an interesting question. Lastly, we got to see Ghost of Yotai. I think this is based off of the mountain Yotai in Japan. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If not, let me know, please. This will be coming out in 2025, and this game looks beautiful. I mean, it looks wonderful. It looks fun. You get a horse, a true open-world experience. It looks so good. You also have a wolf companion. There's different combat. There's bosses in there. The game is focused on kind of more realism instead of arcadey. So think of Phantom Zero. Think of Sekiro, okay? It's going to play something. Or Ghost of Tsushima, for Pete's sakes. It's going to be something like that. And I think with Ghost of Tsushima being so successful and now making Ghost of Yotai and seeing in the comments, woohoo, this is going to be great. It's wonderful they kept it at the end, right? That was a good move. But I think they're going to continue to work with the Ghosts IP and just keep it going until they saturate it to death, like with everything else that all of the AAAs do, including Xbox, and just kill it. So We'll have to see. But yeah, this one actually looks pretty good. And my overall thoughts for the entire showcase is that this is a D+. I feel like I'm grading it a little harder than some other people. But honestly, this was our third state of play this year, which is pretty insane. They could have honestly cut the time in half. They could have showed less for some of the other games. And again, some of these games don't even have a release date for 2025. It's like, okay, 2026, I guess? Even Grand Theft Auto 6 might be 2026. Like, we're looking now at the fall of 2025, and there's still kind of some issues there. And so, yeah, if we're looking at 2026, it's like, okay, let's stop showing things 2, 3, 4 years in advance when we're not going to be getting the game, because then you just oversaturate it to death, like I feel like they're doing right now with Monster Hunter Wilds. We have seen, or like what they did with Star Wars Outlaws. Oh my word. We saw so many freaking trailers for that game, and it's doing awful. It's not doing great. My overall review for Outlaws was 5 out of 10. If you're interested, I'll try to remember. Link in the description. You can watch that if you'd like. But yeah, it was just, the showcase was way too long. They didn't need to show all of that. Also, too, it's more of the same. More remasters we didn't ask for. More VR stuff most of us don't have. They haven't even sold 500,000 units of their VR yet. It's insane. 41% of the games in the entire showcase were actually exclusive to PlayStation. Like, let that sink in. 59% are across other consoles, including Xbox. This is nuts. And this exclusivity does not include PC. So again, it's like, I don't think they really had a single game except for Ghosts of Yoti or Yotai, and maybe the Zero Dawn remaster that isn't going to be on PC. We also had 3 hardware exclusives and nothing on the 30th anniversary. They're reselling the PS5 Pro. They're selling us chromatic skins now, cosmetics for our physical hardware. And then we got the Fortnite controller. We got and then the reselling of the Pro itself. It's like, look, we already didn't like it. Just let it go. Don't keep shoving it in our face and reminding us that we can't afford it. It doesn't feel good. But yeah, we also got Wilds again. Another trailer for that. At least we have a release date. We also got Veilguard again. We also got Lego Horizon again, Adventures. It's like, okay, you like just keep giving it to me because I don't want any more, right? Like, we already know this is coming. They also pushed PS5 Plus and Classic editions for their services, which again, they haven't been growing those in 8 years now. And finally, they're starting to expand those services since 23, but I think they're a little behind the curve, of course, with Game Pass. I don't think they can keep up, and then we still, generally speaking, don't have day one for their top exclusives, like God of War and freaking, we don't even have, I don't even think we have Horizon on there. Well, maybe we have it now, but probably not the remaster, unless you want to pay $10. So one thing they did add to the classics, which I thought was great, was Dino Crisis #1. Like, please remaster that thing. Please, well, don't remaster it. Remake the entire thing, because with the whole camera angles and everything, it's murder, dude. It's murder. Just make a new game, semi-open world. Call it Dino Crisis. 15-hour experience. I'd probably buy it. It would be great. We also had We also had DLCs. Multiple of them. Again, not even focusing on making new games or anything. We also didn't see Judas. Suddenly, that's just dropped off the map. I don't think Judas game is going very well. I'm even seeing articles that show PS exclusives for this year and next year that aren't even including the Judas game. So that's kind of weird. If you guys forgot, it's a small kind of story experience focused on horror a little bit, and I think it's from the creators of BioShock. So it should be pretty good, right? But why aren't we seeing anything about the game? We still don't have a release date for this, as far as I know. It's almost kind of like these articles are kind of forgetting. Again, it's just not in the mainstream what's going on with it. Most of the announcements for these games were 2025. So again, it's like there's not really too much. Again, we had a lot of stuff in October. I'm kind of surprised they didn't show Silent Hill, because they showed a lot of other stuff that we've seen, but like Veilguard, Alan Wake Lake expansion, the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver remaster 1 and 2, early access of the Towers of Ageshba. I'm trying my best. Split screen for Lego Fortnite. We can also get Lego Horizon Adventures. We get the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, which I think I already said. The Astrobot DLC, which is going to be free. So, like, there's still quite a few things here. We also get Sonic X Shadow Generations, which is in December at the end of the month. But again, like, none of these are really big surprises. They have just been rehashing the same stuff. And so it makes me kind of worried, because they've had 3 states of play in a row now. Well, maybe 4. That really haven't done that well. And we're talking over like a 15-month period where it's just like there's just not much going on. And again, they're just reselling you the same stuff that you're still waiting to come out. They're still giving you more remasters. They're focused on DLCs. Like, there were not a lot of games in this one. It was pretty lackluster for September. It used to be toward the end of the year, hey, look at what's coming out in 25. Well, now that's becoming more of a summer thing. And then we still have Summer Game Fest, okay? Seeing it more, whatever it is. We also have the Game Awards, seeing it more. We also have Gamescom if they decide to be a part of it, which they didn't this year. It was just Xbox. If the Xbox hadn't been there, we wouldn't have had a Gamescom. So I'm glad they actually did something. Same with the Tokyo show. Again, no one else was a part of it. Even Ubisoft pulled out of the Tokyo Game Show for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is surprising, but, they delayed the game. It's supposed to be February now. On Valentine's Day is when it's supposed to be coming out. I believe that's February 14th. That one's not as important to me because I have my anniversary to remember for my wife and I would much rather remember that one. Just one date at a time, folks. That's all I can keep in there. But, yeah, this is just kind of crazy. It would have been nice if they had showed us something else to be more excited about. Show us a Killzone collection. Okay, I've talked about this before. Show us a Killzone 5. Show us some remaster collections for Jak and Daxter. Oh, an entire Ratchet and Clank bundle, all of the games and DLCs. Dude, that'd be amazing. I'd pay $100 for that. Absolutely. Give it to me. The Sly Cooper series. Again, that's 3 games right there with some DLCs. It's like I just feel like they're missing the ball. Like, they're missing the point of what remasters are. Instead, we're getting Zero Horizon. It's just, I don't think anybody's really excited about that. It's kind of a mess. And while we're focused on collections, it's like, well, why? And I was thinking about this. Why aren't they giving us these collections that that we would like to have? Well, it's because, is it pulling away from what the Pro can do? Is it pulling away from PS Plus and PS Premium? Because, again, those are backwards compatibility lists. So if they're giving you the remasters and making them better, why do you want a worse version that you're going to pay for on a monthly basis? You're not. And so PlayStation is kind of fighting itself right now, because they want to give us what we're asking for without digging into their numbers. You know what I mean? Like, this is the same issue with PlayStation Premium and not being able to give us day one access to a lot of their first-party games. Again, they dig into the unit sales, and they don't feel like they can do that without hurting the business. Xbox does it because Xbox is a small piece of the pie compared to the entirety of Microsoft, but PlayStation is a third of the company. And so, yeah, if PlayStation starts deteriorating, Sony's really going to feel it. And so they're trying to play it safe, but in all reality, I think they just need to pick one. It's like, remaster the stuff or get the crap on the service. You got to pick one. Otherwise, you're not going to be improving your optics along with everything else. So overall, there were 5 I'd probably want to buy. 5 games, and only 1 was actually exclusive. The biggest one is The Ghost of Yotai. That would be, I think, so fun to play. The other ones I was interested in was Dynasty Warriors Origins, Monster Hunter Wilds, which both of those are on Xbox. Arcade Chronicles and Hell Is Us, both of those again are on Xbox. So the only one that's actually exclusive to PlayStation that I want to buy out of an entire hour of showcase is Ghosts of Yotai, and that's 2025 sometime. So yeah, that's why I'm giving it a D. It's just, there's not much there. There's a lot there, but it's not meaningful. And don't worry, we'll go over the Tokyo Showcase too, which again, there was kind of a lot of fluff. There were some good announcements, but not the ones I was necessarily hoping for. So you can stay tuned for that one. So thanks for tuning in, folks. You can always follow me at GamingGarbage22. Don't also forget Discord, Twitch, and Twitter X. And yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. We'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, woohoo, excuse me. I did want to have one more for those of you that are still around. I asked... Here, let's see. Let me get rid of this. I did put up a poll about the PlayStation Showcase on whether you guys would stick with PlayStation. Well, and it wasn't just a showcase. It was just kind of an overall thing of PlayStation lately. Let me try to find this. Here we go. How would you rate Sony's State of Play in September? 55% of you gave it a skull. Like, I agree. It's horrible. I am the stone face with squinty eyes. That's where I'm at. I'm at a D. That was 9% of you. 23% of you gave it just a mid face, and then basically one of you actually enjoyed the showcase. So I'm thankful. At least somebody did. But yeah, 55% of you gave it the skull because yeah, it is horrible. It's like they're just not doing a good job. And then too, with PlayStation's news lately about PS5 Pro and Concord and rising prices and no disk drive, is this making you thinking of switching? 67% of you said yes to Xbox, which is kind of high. Like, that's higher than I thought. 11% of you said yes, I'm done with consoles, means you're switching to PC. And then 2 of you said no, you would actually stick with PlayStation. So yeah, the optics are drastically changing around PlayStation. And it does make me worried for 2025. Again, I don't feel like they really have much. I think Marathon is going to be another big flop. And Ghosts of Yotai will actually probably save them, make them some pretty good money. But again, they're sitting on a lot of IPs they're not actually doing anything with. And the gall of the co-CFO, CEO, president of PlayStation in some way or another, he was expressing that they don't have IPs to expand on. It's like, is he young? Is he under 30 years old? Are you serious, dude? Like, there are so many IPs that Sony has under their belt that they could totally remake, and it would be new, and they could seriously push it out there, like G Police or Colony Wars. I think people would eat that up. They would be so fun. But yeah, they don't do it. Instead, Horizon Remaster. Frick yeah, just love it. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. This is for real now, and we'll see you guys on the next one.